Welcome back, everybody. This is Red, and today we're going to start something kind of different. We're going to be doing kind of a walkthrough for Injustice 2. It's going to be kind of a walkthrough, but also showing you the story mode. One thing that I'm going to do a little different is I've already gone through the story mode and pretty much unlocked the alternate ending. So when I go through the story with you, basically, I'm going to pick the characters that I like to play with, because as you can see, the 76 out of 76 fights that you see kind of the lower left, when you go through the entire story mode the first time, you end up having like maybe 26 fights left, because to unlock the alternate ending, you actually have to do all the fight scenes. So kind of a slight spoiler, depending if you played the first one or not. When you get further into the story, you'll have sections where, kind of like here, where you can either pick Green Arrow or Black Canary to fight with. So when you go through the first time, whoever you pick for those fight sequences, basically you have to go back through a second time and pick the other ones. So I figured I would do it this way, one, so you get to see the alternate ending, but also if you haven't played Injustice 2 and you do decide to get it if you don't already have it, when you go through, it'll give you something kind of new to see. Most of these videos are probably going to be 20 to 30 minutes long. That's mostly because if you go through the entire story mode where you don't see any of the fights, it's probably like an hour and a half to 2 hours or something just to go through all the cutscenes. So this way you get to see the whole story, but it won't be broken down into like 60 or 80 videos or something. So this way they will be a little bit longer, but it'll be more manageable. So the first one will have a little bit less story, just because I'm going to show you some of the different things that you can do in the game other than just play through the story mode. Obviously you have the story mode, single fight, the multiverse. Practice and tutorial is basically kind of get used to the controls for the game and some of the different moves for the different fighters. Multiverse, when you go here, you have different worlds or different universes, and as you can see, you have kind of running clocks on all of them. That's how long they last. So like one for Venom, it lasts 64 hours, or that's how much time's left on it. When you go through, you have to, for the longer ones, kind of like this one, they're generally character like specific. Like for this one, I think you can only use the Bane character for it. But that's where you really unlock kind of the better equipment for the different characters, because as you can see, you get platinum boxes, and I'll get into the boxes in a second. But you have level 20 epic headpiece, then when you get to another one, then you have ones for the legs, torso, arms, and stuff. So they're a little bit more difficult to go through, but if you have specific characters that you want to play with, when those pop up, they're usually a really good opportunity to unlock better equipment that increases your character's kind of strength and abilities and all that. This way you can kind of basically just increase your chances of being successful, whether you do multiverse, single fights, or fight against people online. One thing that is cool is you have the battle simulator world, which stays. That one never goes away, but you have an infinite or endless ladder. For this one, basically the ladder doesn't end until your guy loses. One thing that's cool that they've done in this game is you have different loadouts, and you have 5 basic loadouts for where you control the character. But as you can see here, you have AI loadouts. The AI ones, basically the computer plays your character for you. So it ends up being a PC versus PC fight, which isn't too bad, because if you have other things that you're doing, like you're looking up stuff for research paper or you're job hunting online or whatever, if you're doing multiple things and you're still trying to level up the character, you can do that at the same time. The only time you have to hit a button is after a fight. You hit X to start the next one, which is kind of nice, especially when you have multiple people you're trying to level up. So as you can see, I already have some of them maxed out, and part of that is it's kind of an experiment, because when you go through the story mode, whatever character you fight as, they level up while you go through. So I don't know if you max out the character ahead of time when you go through, if it makes the fights easier or not. So we'll kind of find that out. Other than those, obviously, like I said, you have multiplayer where you fight against your buddies. Online against other people, then you have the Brother Eye Vault and custom characters. Guilds is kind of a group thing that I don't really have any other people that I play with online that play Injustice, so I haven't tried joining in the guilds. Extras, you have a little hero card which shows up online. When you're not online, nobody ever sees it, so you can change that or not. The Brother Eye Vault, those are the little boxes for like bronze, silver, gold, platinum. Then they have the same thing for guilds. The little coin thing that you have all in the bottom left, you get those when you complete different ladders and stuff. So the gold, silver, and bronze, you can actually buy those. Bronze, I think, is like 1,000. I think the silver is 5 or 10,000, and the gold is 25,000. So when you get those, you hold down X or A if you're on Xbox, whatever, and basically they give you different gear pieces. The higher you get up for silver, gold, platinum, and that, the better your chances are of getting epic gear. Like, granted, for Atrocitus, I don't use him, so I'm probably not going to use that gear. But that's where you get some of the gear pieces. The rest of it's from when you do the multiverse stuff. You have regenerate gear, which isn't too bad. You have again, for the bottom left, you have like kind of a hexagon shape where it has 75. Those are region tokens that you can earn. Those, what they do is, now I'll go ahead and do one with Red Hood. Every piece of equipment you get has different levels on it, and the levels for when you get equipment generally go up as you unleash level up your character. So when you reach level 20, pretty much all the gear pieces you get are going to be at least like level 20. They don't generally drop. If you're down closer to like level 10 or 11, then it gets a little sporadic. But what you use the region tokens for is, let's say you have this set of legs, it's a level 11. When you use the region token, it basically levels up that gear piece to whatever your current level is. So I have him maxed out at level 20. So use a region token and it brings it from a level 11, as you can see here, over to 20, and the abilities increase on it. Sometimes it will change where the one that you're using the region token on, like this one, defense is 52. Sometimes that plus 52 will go down to 0, then you'll get like plus 80 or something for ability or strength, so sometimes it changes. So if you don't like the change, then you can always still stick with the original gear piece, so you don't always have to select the new version or the higher leveled version. That's not too bad. And sometimes what happens is you'll have gear pieces that work really well for beefing up your character but look hideous. In the event that you have that, you have basically little gems that you can earn. Most of the time you probably end up having to buy them, which, unlike GTA and like Call of Duty, they're actually not bad, because I think it's you get 11,000 for I think it's $4.99. So you don't have to buy them. It's just more of kind of an aesthetics thing. But basically what you use those for is you have character skins, which you unlock those in the mother boxes. If you have one that you really want and you don't want to sit there and wait forever to unlock it, you can pick it, and yeah, it's like 4,000. Or what happens is like the headpiece, the cowl for the Mark 11 for Batman, what you see for my character, that's not what it actually looks like. The one that they have, it looks weird and looks kind of out of place, and for me, I just think it's hideous. But for the gear pieces I have for them, that was the better gear piece for the abilities, or the increased abilities it gives. The headpiece I have is this one for the Insurgent's cowl. What you can use those points for is basically you change the look of the gear piece. So with the Mark 11 one, that was hideous. It was 2,000. Every time you change the gear piece, it's 2,000 of those. You can change it to whatever else you want. So if you have a different headpiece or torso piece, whatever, that you like the way it looks, but you don't want to lose the abilities of the gear piece that you have equipped, basically you just change how it looks. So you have the abilities and bonuses for the character that you want, but you also have it so that they look how you want, which is kind of a nice feature. So those are kind of the customizing options that you have, and some of the other things you can do with the game outside of story mode. So like I said, this one, it's kind of a mix of things. After this one, it'll basically be just the story mode until we get through it. So I don't lose anything, I just have to select chapters. While it goes through, I'm not going to, generally, if I can help it, while it goes through the cutscenes, I'm not going to speak through those. I will speak during the fights, and the reason why I'm going to leave the fights in is, one, any additional thing that I'm going to talk about with the game, talking during the fights when I'm fighting, it won't interfere with any of the dialogue and stuff for the cutscenes. But also, if you're thinking about getting the game, you can get an idea of some of the different combat moves that the different characters have and their abilities, so you kind of have an idea of what character you might want to play. And if there's anything I've noticed from playing the different characters that for me I feel is kind of a downside, I can tell you about that. This way, if you do go to play the game, you have a little more information. So we're going to start off this one for the story mode with Godfall, and we might get through all of that one. Might get all through chapter 1, potentially. We'll see how it goes. Like I said, I'm going to try to keep these between 20 and 30 minutes. This way it doesn't drag out too long, but there's not like 900 videos for this. The first one, and there's a couple other chapters later on where basically the cutscenes that are involved are just really long. Some of them aren't as lengthy, so that will kind of depend on how far through the chapters we get to with every video. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and get this started, and I hope you enjoy not only the gameplay but the storyline for Injustice 2.
quickly. Stay with me, Kara.
The ship, it just... Argo City's gone. Millions of people.
That's only the beginning. Brainiacs destabilized the planet's core. Krypton won't hold together much longer.
But all your research, isn't there something you can do?
That's why we're here.
A spaceship? That's what you've been working on?
Your uncle Jor-El discovered a planet that can sustain Kryptonians, far away from Brainiac. He's built a ship just like this for your cousin Cal.
But Cal... he's just a baby.
Which is why you'll need to protect him. Teach him our ways.
Me teach him? What about you? No. No, I won't leave you. Please, please don't make me.
I can't come with you, but you'll never be alone. You belong to the House of El, Kara. A house of hope. Never forget that. Never give up hope. Get in!
In my years fighting crime, I've learned one truth. That every villain is the hero of his own story. Superman was no exception. The Joker drugged him, tricked him into killing his pregnant wife Lois, and made him trigger the bomb that nuked Metropolis. So when Superman killed the Joker, I understood why. We all did. But once that line was crossed, there was no going back. He gave himself and the Justice League a new mandate. Stop all crime before it happened, by any means necessary. But he couldn't see his good intentions were leading him down a path of tyranny and evil. That's how our greatest hero became our greatest threat.
So what if Superman's pulling criminals out of Arkham? They're the worst of the worst.
He's going to kill them, Damian.
Sounds like justice to me.
Killing people isn't justice. Superman can't see that. He's grieving. He needs time to heal.
Yeah, and what if it had been Gotham? If Joker had killed me, your own son? Thought you'd say that. It's not responding. We're being taken to the Batcave.
Prepare to eject. Warning shot, Cyborg.
I won't hurt you unless I have to.
You're gonna have to.
My friends were in Metropolis, Batman. Starfire, Beast Boy, gone. We do this. That never happens again.
You're right to be angry, but it's not a blank check. And the Justice League isn't a death squad.
Okay. Well. As you can tell, that's kind of the beginning for the storyline. Now, when it comes to the fights, and if you haven't played with the characters initially, then sometimes getting used to the different moves for them and how to put combos together can be difficult. Or if you don't play with the same character often, you can get used to basically all their moves and everything, and since you play a different character more frequently, you can actually forget some of the moves. So some of the characters, I have an idea of what their different moves are, but kind of like I don't use Batman a lot, and some of the other characters I don't use a ton either. So from time to time, I will forget their moves, which will equal cheap moves every now and then.
Yeah, I'm fine. Thanks for asking.
Let's go.
So you won't kill, but you're fine with traumatic brain injuries.
Secure the loading docks.
Here to help, Bruce?
Yes, to keep you and Clark from making a terrible mistake.
None of us wanted this, but the Joker forced our hand. Metropolis changed the world. Now we have to change with it.
Not like this.
Of all people, I thought you would understand.
Yeah, kind of like Robin's comment on that. Yeah, you're not okay with killing people, but you're okay with traumatic brain injury. Which is something that I really think is funny, because I've thought about that before. Early 90s Batman, kind of like movies and comic books and stuff, Batman did actually kill people. Then shortly after that, he kind of went to the whole no-kill thing. But when you think about it, as he fights the different criminals and all that, he does some pretty significant damage. Like, if you played any of the Arkham series games with Batman, like, the whole brain injury thing probably happens, which, like I said, I've always thought was hilarious, mostly because he won't condone killing somebody, but he'll do enough damage where somebody can be in a wheelchair for the rest of their life, have a colostomy bag, and they can't speak because of all the brain damage that Batman's done to them. And that's okay, but don't kill him.
Aphrodite forbids you.
Oh, now Wonder Woman's gonna be a pain. You and your damn whip.
Damien despises you.
You can have him.
Yeah, you're not getting anything.
Tell me the truth. Where is he?
Cell block C. You can't turn your back on him. He needs you.
That's why I came.
Okay. For this video, we're going to go ahead and stop it there. The next one, we're going to pick up from here and continue further into the story. Like I said, there's going to be pretty much all story from this video on. The first one, like I said, it's kind of an intro to the story, but there's a lot of times where you have games like Mortal Kombat X or the Injustice ones where outside of the story you don't always kind of get a glimpse at what all you can do and what all the different options are that you have in the game. So I figured bare minimum, at least for the first one, I kind of go ahead and show all that. So hope you enjoyed the gameplay and hope you like the story so far. Hit the like button, feel free to subscribe, and I'll see you back here with the next episode.
Fuck, setting a trend, yeah, said it again. Man, I got offended up and I get in the pen. Gotta get better with every gem you drop it, you'll never be better than him. Racket a Rachet Face, better get attached to the hot to the base. Soaking out, whatever, so went down, gonna blow the pad, every track I lace. With a bit of bars and it took me long, be gone, to master this so marvelous. Master the flow, bars that I throw, disaster was so better get rid of the Rachet Face.